Welcome to this March edition of Littleton Common 2022. Well, we had a roller coaster ride weather-wise in February, didn't we?
Right.
59 to 29 and 60 to 40, and talk about wearing layers. Well, be ready for anything, and anything happened, right?
Yep.
We also had snow for 2 days, so what's up with that? So anyway, Mother Nature, I think she might need new meds.
I think so too, but oh well, you know, we are New Englanders, so we're really prepared for anything. And so, Mark,
Yes.
do you remember Valentine's Day and what I said on camera to Alan?
Yeah, you put out a challenge there, I think, to get some new bling.
Yeah. Guess what?
Whoa, turn that thing down.
Isn't that pretty?
Wow, can I hold it?
You can touch it.
Wow, look at that. It's diamonds, just
Yes.
like you asked.
Ta-da.
Wow, that's
Yep.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Way to go, Alan.
Now I'm thinking about my birthday. I got to have something. In fact, I think I'll ask on the show again and see what he does for that. But that's not till November. So I guess I'll have to wait.
I'm sorry for you.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
How's Amy doing? Because I may have to talk to her about doing this.
I took care of her for Valentine's Day. It wasn't crazy, you know. We'll talk about it later, but we've been saving our money for a trip, which we're going to go on. But we'll talk
Okay.
about that later in the show.
Well, that's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last month we mentioned that we wondered what is ahead for our seniors, and also the plans that are made and plans that are canceled. All we can do is watch and wait. Well, guess what? It's wait again. We mentioned that on the May 2nd town meeting, the senior center would be mentioned, but we are going to have to wait for another time. We will try to keep up with that news and let you know when we can. Meantime, don't forget our seniors. Who do we have as a guest this month?
Well, this month we're going to be talking to Sean O'Brien, the town treasurer. So let's catch up with Sean. I'm joined with Sean O'Brien, our town treasurer. Sean, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mark.
Yeah, we're trying to meet new people and new faces around town hall. And when did you start?
It seems like a lifetime ago, but it was in October of 2020. So
Wow.
took over for Steve and then transitioned from there. So
That's interesting, 2020, because I thought it was much less. I didn't realize you've been here.
yeah, a little over a year.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's great.
yeah.
So were there adjustments made for the height of the doorways when you walked in? I mean,
Yeah, I just kind of duck and
how does it feel to be at least the tallest employee in town? That must be.
a lot of pressure, thinner air,
That's interesting. Some people, you don't normally bring up somebody's, if they're short in stature or if they're overweight or anything.
I'm
But
working on
for
that.
some reason, nobody has a problem with tall people.
No.
Does it offend you at all?
We should be ripped on like everyone else.
You-
They'll probably not make the cut.
Oh, that's good. So tell us about yourself. Where do you come from? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, so I grew up in Rentham, Mass, which is on Rhode Island border.
Where all the outlets are?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows where Rentham is.
Yeah, so that used to not be the case, but and then like went to school nearby, and then went to Assumption for undergrad and Suffolk for my grad degree in public administration. So. And then from there, worked in Concord in budget and finance office, and then Natick as the assistant finance director, and now in Littleton. So
Right. Now, is this something you've always been good at, numbers?
it depends on the day and who you ask, but yeah, no, I think the part of the job that's good is blending the numbers with what you're trying to accomplish and relating that to various audiences, and ultimately trying to do a good job and leave the spot in a good place. So.
Right. Tell us a little bit about you personally, like as far as, are you married?
Yeah, still.
Still married, good, great. Hopefully your wife will watch this.
Oh, yep. I told her not to tune in, but yeah. No, so yeah, I got Anna, and then we've been together for a while now, and we got 2 little guys, so Owen and Connor, so they're keeping me up. So
Yeah. And where do you live now?
So I live in Hopkinton, right in the center of town. So
Okay.
It's pretty good.
It's
Good
about a
spot.
20-minute ride from here?
Yeah, traffic isn't too bad. It's 495 straight shot, pretty good. So
Yeah. 495 can be tough.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you never know what you're going to get on 495.
Some days it's like an hour, and then others it's like 25 minutes.
Right.
So
Have you learned some of the back ways and alleyways to get home in case?
yeah, I've gone the Harvard route and backdoored that one a few times, but haven't had to, knock on. Haven't had to do that too often. So
What's your experience been like in Littleton so far?
it's been good. It's kind of a crash course in everything, but we got a lot of good people here and a great team, so that really helps. And obviously the town's taking on a lot, so it's learning on the fly and then trying to do a decent job and have everyone in a good spot. So
Well, I've heard good things about the job that you're doing, so
thanks.
I appreciate that.
You're the one.
And the other thing I just wanted to know is, as far as some people may want to know as the town treasurer, how's the outlook look for Littleton in the, not only the coming year, but fiscal year, but, maybe 5-year forecast? How are things looking financially?
Yeah, so it's a good question. We kind of look ahead for a few years and tend to budget conservatively. So Alicia and I really kind of go through that and make sure that we're in a sustainable spot going forward. So as part of the, outlook for the next 3 to 5 years, we think we're going to be in a good spot. It's just a matter of, being proactive on some spots where we're going to need support, and then also recognizing, the capital projects that are coming down the pipeline, like, sewer and, the senior center and things like that. So all planning ahead on that, and hopefully everything goes well and we're in a good spot going forward.
Excellent. We still have a rainy day fund in case, the pipes break?
Yeah, we still do. Hopefully no more pipes break, because that's, adding up.
Metaphorically speaking.
But yeah, we still have, we're in compliance with all our financial policies and have significant fund balance that if something does happen, that we do have the resources to, overcome that.
Right.
So.
Now, I know that I do video production, and when I go home, I'm often the guy who has to run the cameras at the birthday parties and stuff. Do you do the budgeting in your own home? Or?
I try to get a break from it, but so I give all the hard ones to my wife on that. So,
is she good with numbers too?
Yeah, she works in healthcare tech/data, so all that stuff. So she has a little different form of budgeting on the corporate side, but we meet in the middle and make it happen. So.
Now I can see, sometimes when parents have the same interest and they get together for game night, do you guys play math games with your kids? Is that how you have?
we try to play like, go to bed, on time.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and don't make a mess. So
Yeah, those are good games.
Those are the games. But no, with
kind of like the quiet game. You remember that? Did your dad ever pull that on you?
Yeah.
Let's play the quiet game in the car. Is one way to say how long can we get them to be quiet?
Yeah, it's keeping the peace. So.
Yeah.
Because Owen's almost 3, so he's, we'll play with the Legos and stuff like that. And Connor's just learning to climb on things. So we're kind of playing defense on him while he's tripping over himself.
Yeah.
So.
Well, enjoy it while it lasts, because, I have 6 kids.
Oh, yeah.
They grow up fast, and as you know, that's just, these times are pretty special when they're young.
Special with no sleep.
Yeah, that's special. One of the special things about it. But you'll have plenty of time to sleep. You sleep a third of your life away, so they say. So
Not at work, though.
no, that's good. That's good. Final question. This show airs in March, and St. Patrick's Day is in March.
Boy.
Now, you guys do it up right at the O'Brien home?
Maybe in my 20s, but kind of tamed down a little bit.
I see.
So.
All right, so we'll expect to see you on the 18th here at work.
I'll be here, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how much good he'll be, but he'll be here. Well, Sean, thanks a lot just for sitting down for a moment.
Definitely.
Let everybody see your face. And I'm sure, as Alicia said, that if people have questions for you, they can, your door is always open. Maybe yours isn't, but...
Just not the hard questions.
That's right. If you have an easy question, his door is always open.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for joining me.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.
Welcome back to Critter Corner. Last month we talked about birds, and this month I'd like to talk a little bit about reptiles. One of the things that makes the reptile category of pets really unique is that they cannot regulate their own body temperature. They need to warm and cool themselves by using their environment. That means that their environment in your home has to mimic their natural environment for them to stay healthy. That makes things quite a bit of a challenge. There's a lot of information out there on the market that can be conflicting, sometimes confusing, and a lot of times there's no real help. When you go to the pet store, they'll sell you product, but they don't necessarily teach you how to use that product. So majority of those animals that come to see us, whether it's a snake, lizard, turtle, tortoise, we end up going over what you're doing at home in extensive detail, because somewhere around 95% of the animals that come to us are sick because there's some stress in their environment. If the temperature zone is not correct, their humidity is not correct, that can literally wear down their immune system, so that the first thing we see, the first sign something's wrong, is your animal stops eating or isn't eating as well. The second sign is they may not shed or shed well. There's something called a retained shed, where the skin does not come off their body the way it's supposed to. And that's another sign something's wrong. If you wait too long, your pet will get sick and develop a secondary infection or secondary illness that can make it harder for them to recover. So we want to make sure that you do your research before you pick up that cute little lizard at the store. You do not want to rely on the pet store employee. I think pet store employees work hard, but it's really hard for them to know everything they need to know. So you have to do some research on your own. Find a good veterinarian that can help you navigate what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. If you schedule an appointment to have a veterinarian who works with reptiles, look at your reptile to make sure it's healthy. They're going to go over everything you're doing at home, or they should, to make sure what you're doing is going to support that animal in the very best way. The more problems we have with the environment, the more stress that places on the animal, and the more chances we are that it's not going to thrive. There are those lizards, those snakes that do what we call their poor doers. They just don't thrive. And what I mean by that is you could have an environment that's pretty close to what they need, and one group of animals are going to thrive and do great, and then you're going to have those poor doers that stress is just too much. That little bitty thing that we missed is enough to make them sick. And so the poor doers are devastating to owners because we feel a lot of guilt that we did something wrong. But you need to keep in mind that these animals are really victims of the pet industry. They are animals that probably should not be bred in the numbers they are, sold in the stores in the numbers that they are, and it puts you, the owner, in a disadvantage. So if you're thinking about owning a reptile, we have to help you with your homework. Things you need to look at include a temperature zone. Every animal needs a cool to warm temperature zone. Your enclosure needs to provide that, almost to the buttons. So you need to know what heating sources are available to you. You need to make sure you have thermometers that you can put in that cage that will constantly monitor that temperature. Because in New England, it gets cold in our homes, and the heat will leach out of that pet's environment, and those thermometers are going to drop. You need to be able to mitigate that. You need a humidity monitor. You need to know what reptile products are on the market in terms of calcium supplements and multivitamin supplements. They need to get into your animal on a regular basis. So you need to know which products, how often. You also need to know what's the ideal diet for your animal. If you're not feeding a balanced diet, we see critters all the time that get stuck on eating junk food, food that's not great for them, and then we can't transition into something that's better for them because they'll be stubborn and then they won't eat. So it's important that you are aware. Reptiles have very specific needs. The pet store may not set you up with what you need in order to give that animal the best environment that it should, and you really need to do your research. If you have any questions about your reptile or about owning a reptile, we are happy to help.
You know, Mark, Littleton is the perfect spot for so many reasons. You don't have to go far to find things to do. We all know Kimball's Ice Cream, and that opened in 1939, the year I was born.
Wow.
And it has homemade ice cream.
Yes, I've made many visits to Kimball's. It's a great place.
But have you ever gotten a special?
I've gotten the special, I've gotten the splits. You know, I used to be able to finish a whole banana split by myself when I was younger and my metabolism was better. And now when we go as a family, we get a banana split or a Kimball special and we all share it. It's so much ice cream.
Yeah, it is. But I still eat banana splits.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
It keeps you young.
Yeah. Oh, is that it? Okay, I'll have more.
Right. We also have Neshoba Valley Ski Area with its snowboarding and tubing and ski lessons. We have our own Historical Society museum, which has all you want to know about Littleton with hundreds of photographs and interesting exhibits.
We also have our fabulous farm stands getting ready with new crops, the forestry with great programs, and of course we have the Lyceum, the oldest in the country. Don't forget Cataldo's with gifts and everything for your garden. There is so much more surrounding our town. Littleton is quite a special place. We even have important people who live or lived here, like musicians, authors, politicians. We have a gal who is training the horses for the Olympics. And sitting right here, our own Mark Crory, Executive Director of Littleton Community Television.
Yes, infamous.
There is the Littleton Inn, B&B, where guests can come and visit our town or take a short drive into all the surrounding towns and Boston for interesting things to do. So if your house is full of guests, check Littleton Inn.
Right, that's a good idea. Well, each month we are going to look at some of these interesting people who were born in Littleton or are living here now or lived here for some period of their life. And this month we want to introduce you to Margaret Harwood. Now, you may recognize the last name because we have a road named Harwood Avenue, which was named for the prominent family in town. Margaret Harwood was born March 15th, or 19th rather, in 1885. She died on February 6, 1979. She was an astronomer and the first director of the Maria Mitchell Observatory in Nantucket, Massachusetts. In fact, an asteroid discovered in 1960 was named in her honor, 7040 Harwood. It's kind of interesting. As I said, she was born in 1885 in Littleton. She's one of 9 children of Herbert Joseph Harwood and Amelia August Green. And in 1907, she received her A.B. from Radcliffe College, where she was a member of Phi Beta Kappa. And in 1916, she earned an A.M. or a M.A., both ways you can say it, from the University of California. So after graduating college, she worked at the Harvard Observatory, and she taught in private schools in the Boston area. In 1912, an astronomical fellowship was created for women to work at Maria Mitchell Observatory, and Harwood was the first recipient of the fellowship. She received $1,000 in 1916, and she was 30 years old. In 1916, when she was 30 years old, Harwood was named director of the Mitchell Observatory, and she worked there from 1916 until her retirement in 1957.
Wow.
Now, her special was photometry. Now, if you don't know what that is, I didn't either, but it's involved measuring variations in the light of stars and asteroids. It's kind of heady stuff. But particularly, her study was that of the small planet Eros. She was a member of the American Astronomical Society and a fellow of the Royal Astronomical Society. She traveled widely in Europe and the United States, and she was the first woman to gain access to the Mount Wilson Observatory, the world's largest observatory at the time. In 1917, she discovered the asteroid 886 Washingtonia, 4 days before its formal recognition by George Peters. Now, at the time, senior people around her and advisors told her not to report it as a new discovery because it was inappropriate that a woman should be thrust into the limelight with such a claim. However, Harwood, she did send her photographs of her discovery to Peters for him to include in his study of the asteroid orbit. In 1960, 3 years after her retirement, an asteroid discovered at Palomar was named in her honor, as he said, 7040 Harwood. Harwood was a devoted Unitarian. She was a trustee of Nantucket Cottage Hospital, and she taught at MIT during World War II. She is buried right here in Littleton at the West Lawn Cemetery. So,
Oh my goodness.
isn't that interesting?
That is, right here in Littleton, imagine.
Yeah, a pioneer of...
Hey,
kind of
I
paving the-
discovered this building, meaning I got here.
That's right. Well, you're a pioneer in that field as well.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Well, maybe not. But
Yeah.
I really am proud of her, and that makes you especially proud, of Littleton.
Yeah, it does. And, a lot of women weren't in the field of science and mathematics back then, although certainly they were qualified. It just kind of was dominated by men. And you could see from that attitude they had about naming the asteroid after a woman. And
Yeah.
fortunately, things have changed, and
Well,
she
I
was one of the
guess-
trailblazers.
I guess women got really, watching all this and saying, wait a minute, I can.
I'm sure exactly that's what they
That's
said.
exactly what they said,
Right.
isn't it?
Right.
But anyway, so they're on their way now. They are doing things.
Yep. Tell us what's going on at the diner, the COA diner.
Well, Gail Dalton will be happy to see you to join her rather at the diner on Thursdays when she is serving soup and sandwich. And I hear it's been well received for all who have dropped in. So watch your broadcaster for the dates for any senior programs. And you shouldn't miss the breakfast at the senior diner, and that's on March 23rd. That's the men's breakfast. And the women's breakfast is March 9th, and both are at 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. So meet your friends and make some new ones, because all are welcome for lunch Monday through Friday. And wait a minute, Gail is going to have a birthday in March. I think it's March 28th. And someone else is having a birthday too, I think.
I wonder who that could be. Yes, it will be my birthday month in March. So if you want, we'll give the address at the end of the show to send me gift cards or, anything expensive. Diamonds, apparently.
No, that's November.
If you ask for diamonds, you get diamonds. So why not? I'll ask for something big. All right. Also in March, Bill Vale's computer classes are taking place still via Zoom. So check the broadcaster for the details about getting the Zoom link for those sessions. The sessions are Thursday from 10:30 to noon. And this month's topics are on March 3rd, email, contacts, address books. On March 10th, he's going to be talking about Google Drive applications, which are like document sheets, slides, forms, that kind of stuff. On March 17th, it's using search in applications, searching for general information, images, and YouTube. And on March 24th, social engineering will be the topic. And March 31st, he's going to be talking about sharing information on the web via Dropbox or Google Drive or other methods like that. So check it out.
Yep, great classes. Quite a few months ago, someone left this piece of furniture for me by the thrift shop. They must know I like to give new life to found treasures. The phone number left for me was lost. Excuse me. So I don't know who left it, but thank you to whoever it was. St. Patrick's Day is on March 17th. That's the one day we all can be a little Irish. Well, you are.
Yes, I'm always a little Irish.
Yeah. Will you celebrate?
Oh, sure. I'd like to dress up as a leprechaun and travel around town.
Yeah, good.
Although that's probably not allowed anymore.
Probably.
Yeah, so I'll just wear green and...
Well, maybe I'll ask Alan for an emerald.
Oh, yeah, hold on to your wallet, Alan.
Well, what's happening now? aren't you taking a trip to Florida?
I am, not just for my birthday month. I'd like to think it was my own present, but yeah, we're going to go to Disney World in Florida, and we initially planned the trip in December, but didn't work out. So we'll be going there and taking the family down. We're meeting a bunch of other people down there. We're going to be renting a house and spending
Oh, wow.
10 days down there in Disney.
Good,
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
good. Well, say hi to Mickey for me.
I will do that.
He knows me.
Yeah. Everybody knows Barbara, right?
Well, thanks again for watching our show today.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you next month, or all the time anyway.
That's
and, don't forget our seniors.